Hello, welcome back to Starting 11, guys. Well, we got a supersized episode this week. 2 weeks in one. It's a lot of football. It just was nonstop. One of us extremely unhappy with this week. The other one may be happier, but he'll still be probably pretty upset with it. I'm talking, of course, young Ferris Mathon is with us.
What's up, everybody? How's everyone
He,
doing tonight?
thanks for showing up, Ferris. Of course, Adelia out on special assignment
hmm
for the network this week. She should be back next week. Should be back. She's going to miss talking, of course, Luton Arsenal. We'll get to that in 1 second. First, I guess we should mention that Wolves did play Burnley. Uh,
Yes, that
yeah,
was a game.
yeah. The other thing of note is that Dan Bentley gets a start in that for Wolves.
Fifth start ever in his Premier League career.
They give Jose the week off. He gets a clean sheet, so
Got injured actually. Jose Sa
you know
is
he
back.
gets yeah. He'd return later that week. I don't know how sore it was, but with playing 2 games that quick or whatever, you pick your battles. I think they picked the right one. 1-0 victory. Hwang Chan with the goal.
Dan Bentley had a great save. Well, double save where he saved it and he saved it again on a rebound. He played a tremendous game.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I'll talk about the I'm gonna talk more about goalies this week because I may have to defend my goalie because a lot of slander has been thrown upon him.
Well, let's talk about that match right now because he did not. I didn't think he was terrific
hmm
in Luton 3, Arsenal 4. Yeah, it shouldn't have taken you guys 97 minutes to beat Luton.
Amen. That's what Arsenal does. We're the cardiac kids. The
Yeah,
cardiac kids, man.
if you guys would have done that against a top sided table or whatever team, then yes. But yeah, you guys, I don't think you guys ever looked really in danger of losing that game, even when you guys went down 3-2.
hmm
You guys just came right back and scored anyways. I don't think you guys ever looked like I said, in danger. I don't know how sharp you guys looked though either.
No, I think we were very lackadaisical.
Hmm.
I think it threw everyone off because Tuesdays uh are Champions League days or Wednesdays, and they're playing a Premier League game, and I think it happens on occasion, but I think these are the games that you get got on if you're not focused, and I think they weren't focused. They were kind of kind of lazy, a little yibbity doo. They did control most of the match. They played they played better as the game went along,
Yeah.
but they were very weak in set pieces, in set piece defense most specifically. The first set piece, they say David Raya committed two errors that led to goals. I think it was one error in my personal opinion because I think the first one it was just a beautiful corner, an amazing placement, and what can you do?
Sure, you can't do anything against that. That was
Can't
a
do
good
it.
goal.
You can't, the first corner you couldn't do nothing. The
Yep.
second corner, the man who scored the goal was actually being marked by Declan Rice, and Declan he just shrugs Declan Rice off of him, and he jumps up, and David Raya and him they attack the ball at the apex of the cross,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, is it I don't remember the Adebayo. No, it
Adebayo
was
scores
Adebayo
the
because
second. Yep.
Osha scored the first one. So
Yeah.
Adebayo, he just got a little bit higher on Raya, just a little bit higher, and he just went over Raya's hands because Raya was right there. It wasn't an error. It was just kind of like they, you know, if you want to call an error, I'm sorry, the error is on Declan Rice. I'm
Yeah.
having the man basically shrug him off, and he's free. His man's free.
I,
The Ross Barkley goal, that was all David Raya's fault.
that's what I was going to
That
bring
was all
up.
David Raya's fault.
Yeah, that
Yeah, that
was
was his
pretty
fault.
glaring. That was not.
That was
That was
pretty glaring.
not his finest moment.
Yeah, no, not his finest moment.
No. Adebayo, I think, scores a pretty similar goal against Man City
Yeah.
in the
Yes.
Saturday game
Yes.
too. He can climb the ladder. He has
Mhm.
a lot of hops.
That brother can. He can jump, man. He can jump.
Yeah,
He can jump.
maybe there's a certain team in blue that should take a look at guys like that.
hmm
Because they can't seem to goddamn do it. Anyways, let's go on to it's 3-0. We are in
But before,
extra time.
man, shout
Oh,
we're down 3-2. And
mhm.
you know what, man? Love the hold up play and the strength by Gabriel Jesus. He has the no offense, Loon's defenders, their center backs were way bigger than him. And he's
Yeah,
this massive center back where he corrals it, hits it over the other center back, and guess
it's such a nice touch. It's such a nice
what, a
touch to put
beautiful
it
touch.
right
And
on
guess who
Havertz.
was running down that channel?
It's nice to see that man has remembered how to play football again. Good for Kai
The
Havertz.
the the timid deer is
Hmm.
now the hungry lion.
Oh my God! Is that he's evolved? It's
He's
like a
evolved.
It's like a Pokemon.
He's a Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh
And you
my
know what,
God.
man? I'm liking Kai Havertz, man. We'll talk about the Aston Villa game a little better. He got a little spicy. He got a little like, hey man,
Yeah.
I'm 6'5", homie.
Yeah.
All right.
Six
We ain't
foot
gonna
five, and if he weighs 95 pounds, I'll eat my hat.
Yeah. I think he's like a I think he's like 90, 92.
Yeah, he could use a sandwich or two.
Yeah,
He's
he
gonna
needs to eat some. He needs to eat.
yeah.
He needs to be on a regimen. But yes,
Yeah. But let's get down. So it's 6 minutes extra time, but you guys are in control of the ball. You guys are attacking. Play
uh-huh.
is continuing on, and it's Odegaard crossing in to
What a beautiful one. What a
what
beautiful cross.
and to a guy that you guys paid for moments like this. You paid
Yes.
for these moments, and he delivers. Declan Rice. Declan Rice gets you the go-ahead goal, the winning goal. Proceeds to celebrate like you guys just won the league. I thought it was a little much, considering it took so much to beat Luton. But I'm also a team that can't beat anyone right now, so I'm
Mhm.
also a little salty. I'll admit it. But Arteta also goes a little gets a little amped up.
Okay. All right. And people make fun of Arsenal fans to be like, "Oh, conspiracy, calm down." Stuff like that
Hmm.
is where it fuels the conspiracy because, like, the following week, Pep Guardiola does something worse. Something worse. He's out of his technical area. He's blowing kisses to the opposing gaffer, and he doesn't get booked. But Mikel Arteta just jumps up and down, celebrating a 97-minute winner, and he's jumping up and down. He crosses out of his technical area for a bit, but then he hops back. He hops
See,
back, but he
yeah,
still gets booked.
I didn't even notice it when I was watching it. I thought it was just because maybe he failed to control his players because everybody goes onto the pitch at that time,
Mhm.
and the
Everyone is
game isn't
running.
over yet. So I
Yes,
thought that's
everyone's
maybe why
running.
he got a card. But yeah,
All the players were running to the Arsenal fan section. They're
hmm,
all they all because they scored on the Arsenal fan section side, so they all run. And the coaches run a bit, but then Arteta, he can't leave the technical area,
hmm.
so he leaves it. Then he hops back, and then they book him. But then you're allowed to blow kisses to your opponent the following week, and no one says anything. You're allowed to you're allowed to run across the field at halftime and threaten a ref like Pep Guardiola did the following week.
Yeah,
No booking. But Mikel Arteta isn't allowed to celebrate a 96-minute winner where he celebrated, but then he knew I gotta pull it back because they're gonna give and they got him.
yeah,
And then I think that affected the following week games.
100% it did. I think for sure.
And you
Uh,
know what? Starting to realize it's not easy to win at Kenilworth Road, to be honest.
no, I guess it's really intense. I live here in Winnipeg. We've got the smallest arena in the NHL.
Mhm.
I guess the thing is about the intensity. Like it just everything's so much closer.
Everyone's yeah, you could see like when the ball would go out of bounds, Rob,
Hmm.
the fans are like right there.
You could hear individual conversations.
You could
Like,
like I'm pretty sure the ball bounced out of bounds and went into somebody's kitchen.
yeah,
All
probably.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like that's what happened. That's how close they are. There's no space.
yeah.
There is
I love it.
no space.
I
And
love watching games there. It looks
it's
crazy.
amazing. I
Yeah,
feel like I'm watching a rec league match.
yeah. It's
And
like you're
I
back
love
in time.
I love every I feel like we're in 1982 or
Oh yeah.
72.
Oh,
It's,
72. Yes.
it's
And
amazing.
less sliding tackles. But yes, 1972. I think that would work.
Yeah.
They should wear old school uniforms and
They
stuff like
should
that.
every time they should roll up like that. like
Like every team,
Town,
every team should have like an old school
like a
kit
Kenilworth Road unit.
just to
You
go up to
mean?
Kennelsworth Road. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it'd be
like
wicked.
made of cotton
Yeah,
and
wool
wool.
made of
Yeah,
wool. Oh
they
my
should all be
god.
wearing. Rob, you know what? They should all be wearing the polos they used to wear back in the turtlenecks
Yeah, the super
and the
70s style, the long
yeah,
sleeves.
and the long and the curled long johns.
Oh my gosh. That'd be a good look, I think there. They
Yeah.
should film it in black and white too. Anyways, okay. But you guys did get your 3 points. They were
Mhm.
needed.
Definitely.
And we'll talk about the rest of the matches now. Quickly, because we got a lot. Okay. Palace losing again to Bournemouth, and Bournemouth has been playing quite a bit better actually lately. Getting good contributions from
Hmm.
from everybody there. Senese he had some pass from Sinestra. It's hard to remember how to pronounce those two names differently,
He's
but
on
yeah,
loan from Leeds.
yeah.
You know
Well,
that.
we'll see. Maybe you can go up permanently. I don't think Leeds is coming back anytime soon. Kiefer Moore was the other one for in extra time. Kiefer Moore's first goal for them in I think 2 years. I think
Hmm.
it said. Now, Sheffield United. Chris Wilder's back. Didn't matter this time because unfortunately they had to play against Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk scoring. Uh, did you see the highlights from this match, or did you watch the match?
So the Van Dyke one was the
The
corner.
hip check. The hip check. Yeah, the corner comes in. There's a guy running behind him. He sticks his ass out, knocks him down. Both the ref and the VAR are fine with it. It's like, what? How do you think he got so much space?
Hmm.
Anyways, whatever. I don't think it would have mattered.
Isn't this the game that Trent Alexander-Arnold's waistband
Yep.
was
Yeah.
so his pants is falling.
Well, you did that on the corner. You can see him on the corner. You had to pull his pants up.
He had to pull his pants up.
Yeah.
Thing his crack was showing.
You have to tell him like a 6-year-old. Pull your
Yeah,
pants up.
like pull up your pants.
Come on.
And it was a good cross. It was a good cross.
Yeah.
I say this all the time where I'm like, I don't know why he doesn't play center midfield. I don't know
Yep.
why.
I think we say it every week on the show.
We say it every week, but
Yeah.
thank God he's not.
Yep.
Good.
Exactly.
He's
Keep him back there.
keep him at fullback. I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Because
Give him a little further to run every time.
yeah, because he sucks.
Yeah. He's not
So
great
he's
defensively.
not,
Not great defensively.
oh, absolutely not. He's just atrocious. But
Yeah.
people just give Jurgen Klopp. I just think it's just bad management, to be honest with me. But sure, but it is what it is.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see where they are at the end of the week.
Mhm.
So yeah, in their second goal too, Darwin Nunez is allowed to foul his guy, take the ball, get it into the box and score. I thought Wes Foderingham played pretty well for Sheffield United, considering Liverpool had the ball 70% of the time, had way more chances than they did. They were good. Yeah, Sabozlai. I'll never get his name right. Will I?
Dominic
Sabozlai.
Sobozlai.
Yeah, something like that. I'll get it
There's,
one time. I'll get it right.
There's a the Premier League had a pronunciation video come out. And he was
Ooh,
one of the pronunciation people, but you got to find it on their Twitter. It was like weeks ago. It was like
yeesh.
weeks ago.
That seems like more work. I'd rather just screw up the name a little bit. Maybe one day I'll get it right, and then everyone can celebrate. All right.
Mhm.
Anyways, Liverpool wins at Sheffield. Not surprising. Not surprising at all. Fulham win 5-0. Not the only time I'll say that this week.
Absolutely not. And I believe it was at the cottage. It was at the cottage.
Yeah, it's at the cottage.
Yeah, it was at the cottage. Craven's Cottage. Craven's Cottage.
Because poor Forrest. Now Steve Cooper's in a little trouble. I kept saying before, it's like, I don't see why. Why would they? They're not going to get demoted. Why try and do something mid-season? I don't know what their plan is. They're not going to.
They shouldn't fire him.
Well, I guess, we'll talk about it when we get to the thing. But yeah, he's under the hot seat now. There's a couple of people under the hot seat right now. He is definitely one of them. But the goal scorers, Iwobi got 2. Raul Jimenez, who's been really good lately.
Hey, all I
for
say
them.
is this, man.
Tom Carney.
People talk about the best CONCACAF 9. And it's a debate between the two young nines and Florian Balogun of Monaco and Santi Jimenez out of Feyenoord. Raul
Mm-hmm.
Jimenez.
Mm-hmm.
Raul
He's good.
Jimenez.
He's been good.
Coming back from that injury, that head injury he suffered when he was with Wolverhampton, getting a brace. He's playing very well for Fulham. Fulham benched Tim Ream. It could be injury. It just could be performance. We don't know. I heard it was injury.
Maybe they don't
But
like his beard and his ponytail.
personally, I haven't seen him injured. No one said anything about him being injured.
Right.
So I think it's performance. And you know what? No offense, like Tim Ream, American stalwart, one of our leaders.
You are on record for defending this man almost at every turn.
Yeah, but he's 36.
Mm-hmm.
He's 36.
There's that whole father time thing, I
Yeah,
guess.
father time. Um, he broke his arm like last year. I know it's an arm, like it's an arm. You can survive an arm, but like still, he's a 36-year-old who broke his arm.
Yep.
He's probably like, and here's the thing with athletes, Rob.
Yep.
When they fall off the cliff, it's not gradual. It's instant. Like one
Yeah.
moment you don't know how to play.
Yeah.
Like people like, oh, what do you mean? It's like Tom Brady, his last year, he forgot how to play quarterback he just forgot to play American football. He just forgot.
It wasn't great.
He wasn't good. And
It's happening to Alex Ovechkin this year in the NHL too.
yeah, and with football, world football, when you're running and cutting and jumping and bending and you're done.
Yep.
You're done.
It takes
You're
a
done.
lot to be a professional football player, and it's
Yeah,
constant. It's all year.
you're yeah. You're never not moving.
That's why when you see guys like Thiago Silva and stuff like that making it to 39 into the 40s and stuff like that, still
Yeah,
playing,
it's
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 pretty
yeah,
remarkable.
it's quite impressive.
Okay, let's move on. Good for Fulham. I don't like them. Bunch of jerks. There's only one team in Fulham, anyways. Now we move on to Brighton and Brentford, and there's trouble in Brentford land as well. They just
Oh
haven't been
yes.
sharp. Um, they're awarded an incredibly soft penalty, I think, when John Paul Van Heckel just brushes an arm on Vitaly Janelt, and he absolutely crumbles to the ground. Bumo runs up his patented little hop, skip, and jump, like the triple jump.
Talk about Mbumo a little bit later.
Mm-hmm. Yes, too bad for him. But yeah, you see the other people this week practice that same kind of run up and kick. Bumo scores. It's the last shot that I think they got that game because I think they had a couple of chances or whatever before, but that was it.
I
Brentford
don't
is
like
not
I don't
very
like
sharp.
that. I don't like that. Like that weird run up thing. Pick a
Mm-mm.
spot, run up fast, hit it straight. You know what I mean?
I don't. I like that one better than the choo 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 ones or whatever when guys are running on the
Like yeah, the
spot.
stutter step
Like,
thing.
yeah, like they're Wile E.
Yeah,
Coyote or something like that.
a bunch of the Canadian soccer players did that in the Gold Cup.
Mm,
You
I
know what
don't
happened to
like it.
them?
Well, us, we always lose these.
Matt
No, we
Turner
won. We
stopped
won
it.
a Gold Cup once, I think. Once.
Yeah, what in
Uh,
2002?
yeah, it was a long time ago.
Nah,
Uh,
it's the Gold Cup. No one respects it like
no,
they should.
no, no one could care less.
It's actually CONCACAF's fault.
No one has ever woke up in the morning wishing they've won a Gold Cup.
I did
Oh,
growing
did
up.
you? Did
Yeah, when
you?
I wanted to be an American soccer player. I was like, I want to win a Gold Cup.
Oh boy.
I wanted to win it against Costa Rica.
uh,
Haunt my nightmares.
oh my gosh. Okay, so Pascal Gross would score for the top of the box. A nice shot,
Mhm.
actually. And who else? Jack Hinchelwood would get a goal. There you go. Off a Pascal Gross lob or whatever, he gets his head to it.
Who are these people? Brian just be creative playering people
He
out of
just
nowhere.
It's been
Just like
happening the last few weeks. There's just been new person, new person, new person, new
it's
person.
like oh guys, here's this young Irishman named Evan Ferguson. Who are you? Where did you come from?
Ireland.
Yeah, I know. Oh, here's Karuru Mitoma. You're like what?
Yeah, he was good last year. But yeah, I, there's just better scouting, I guess now. I don't know.
Yeah,
But we
man.
got
There.
we got people coming in. Plus,
All
lots
I'll
of people
say is
getting
this,
injured. There's
man.
people getting replaced in lineups and
If
stuff
I
like that.
was a top 5 team,
Sure.
I would just be like, who is the scouting department? I'm hiring all of them.
Yeah.
I'm just taking their entire scouting department. I'm giving them all raises. You
I
know,
might have I might have something to say about that
yeah,
in a few
but
games from now
yeah.
because somebody's a little upset with a certain team that went over to Old Trafford and laid a goddamn egg. Chelsea lose 2-1. Could have been much worse. Much worse. Man, you had 28 attempts on net. Uh, you know your team's bad when you give up a brace to Scott McTominay.
Well,
What?
at least he didn't score both goals in the 90 plus minute like he
Yeah,
did that other game.
yeah.
At least that. And Scott McTominay is the best Scottish soccer player in the world. You know?
He's the best martial artist Detroit has to offer. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, that's just Chelsea just plays far too soft defensively. They just give Akers a space. They don't press at all. Robert Sanchez, I thought, played pretty well. He did stop that penalty against Bruno Fernandes in the
Hmm.
first minute, and
I think
Chelsea actually started well. They
I don't think
started
that was a
well.
penalty. I don't think there should have been a penalty.
No, of course it shouldn't have been a
Yeah.
penalty, but
I think
where were they? Where were they? Of
yeah,
course,
well,
yeah, it
the
was going to be
theater
on.
of dreams is what they call it or something.
Ugh.
What pisses me off about Chelsea? They play like this. But then when Arsenal's on the when Arsenal's it's Arsenal week, it's like we're about to play this like it's Champions League final. Mark Cook, man, he's the hell of me. What's wrong with you?
Chelsea plays well against teams that want to play well. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah,
If a team just wants to sit back and do nothing and wait, we're not going to play very well. It's gonna
because you don't
happen
know
in that
you don't
next
know
match.
what you're doing. You're like, what are we supposed to do? I don't know.
They can't break down low post.
Low blocks.
Yeah, they fucking like what are they supposed to do? You park the bus
Mm-hmm.
and Chelsea just can't score because and I'll get into all this later, or I could get into it now. It doesn't matter. They're too small. Where are they getting these guys? How are you supposed to beat these guys the ball? How are you supposed to defend these guys when you're 5'9"? What are you doing?
The power of friendship and heart, Rob.
No, that's true.
The power of friendship.
They're gonna do it like the Care Bears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Carlo Ancelotti. The power of friendship.
Oh
You ever seen that video, Rob?
I can't probably, but I can't remember
It was on Twitter where it was strategical analysis and strategy domination by Pep Guardiola, and it's like Pep like doing the magnets, and he's slapping the table and he's slapping it. It's like duh, 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 duh. You got to create space, and it's like Carlo Ancelotti's the power of friendship. It's just Carlo Ancelotti dancing with all his Madrid players, and they're just dancing. They're like,
Carlo
"Hey,
Ancelotti
hey,
was
hey."
fired in the dugout by Roman
Yeah,
after a game.
bad decision, I guess.
That used to be the level.
Yeah.
You had to be this good to be at Chelsea. Now it's like, come on in, we're gonna build something all together with all these little tiny little midgets.
It's an Americanized way of the game. It's like be bad, be
but grow together.
be bad but grow together. But they
Grow.
need to realize something about world football is the most American thing in the world. Well, in the sense that it's the most American thing, the lie America tells the world, where it's like we're America, we like capitalism, it's an meritocracy, we punish the bad, we reward the good. The lie that America has done.
Sure.
And world football, that happens. You're bad, you fall down the table, and you're in the bottom three, you get kicked out.
Yep.
And
you can always win your way back up, but if you fail, you're gone.
You fail. And there's been times where you can continue to fail and you fall from, like, Sheffield Wednesday was a Premier League team, and now they're in
Derby County, which has dropped all the way down.
Yeah, exactly.
Wimbledon at one time. I don't know if
AFC Wimbledon, yeah.
I don't know if they were way up, but they're fucking second division.
Yeah, and with Chelsea, they're extremely American in the sense it's over capitalism, it's overspending, over consumerism. and
And this,
they've destroyed the market for certain players. You
I've
know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. Like you guys spent 100 and whatever it was, 5 million pounds to get
10.
Declan Rice. 110.
Yes.
Declan Rice had 250 games experience at the top level playing for West Ham.
Yes. With a trophy to his name.
Well, yeah,
Even though that, the
yeah.
trophy,
It's like
even though that trophy mean you make fun of every
uh,
single day.
all right, yeah. It's like it just has a karate guy on it.
Yeah.
So Moises Caicedo had played 43 games, and they
Enzo
gave him this.
Fernandez had
Yeah,
played 20 games in Portugal.
yeah. It's crazy. That much money to get them that young. These guys, they just got hosed. I don't know if it's just because they were so new that they got hosed. Then they had bring in these guys from Germany. Like the technical directors are in Germany.
Yeah,
This
and then
Alwyn Stanley and this other goddamn guy, Lawrence, whatever his name is.
paid 30 million for a backup 9 from Villarreal and Nico Jackson.
Who I was just about to complain about because can that guy not run with a football?
Like, I
Can he
don't think
not
he
do
can.
anything with it?
I don't think he can. And then don't even get me started that then like you guys buy a kid who played 1 year in the Premier League. And he's a Southampton product. Then you get relegated, but then y'all spend 75 million on him, and you're like, he hasn't done anything. His 1 season in the Premier League at 19, they get kicked out the Premier League.
Yeah, they're fitting this project. They're buying to fit this project. Guy hasn't even fucking played.
Yeah.
Like, where's Lavia? He hasn't
Exactly.
played. And
He's
Cuckoo
injured.
hasn't played.
You bought a 19-year-old at 75 million who was injured.
Yep.
You bought him injured. You should have
Yeah.
been like, wait, he's injured? He does not cost $75 million.
Nope.
But I think they bought him because Liverpool wanted him.
Let him pay for it then. Like,
Yeah, because he would have been sitting on Liverpool's bench injured. And in Cuckoo, he was supposed to be the crown jewel of the transfer market.
He will be. He's going to be very good. But he gets that knee injury. Knee injuries change players. They change players.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
And then there's I think one of the goals you guys I think it's the second goal where it bounces off, it ricochets, and then it comes back to the player, and Robert Sanchez jumps up and he's trying to protect the near post, and he leaves the far post wide open, and Axel Disasi just stands there and doesn't try to protect the near the far post. He just stands there.
No one runs to challenge either. And it's going to happen in that Everton game where this time it was Levi Colwill. Levi Colwill just stands. It's like, why aren't you pressing? Why aren't you running up?
Captain.
I'm like
Captain Levi Colwill just stands there. And speaking of Everton, shout out to
put on because Reece James gets hurt again in that game.
Reece James. You know what? I respect Reece James. Sure. I can't believe I've never seen in my entire life a captain working from home. It's amazing. He has took this working from home business to the next level in world football. And by the way, the goal you guys scored against Man United,
19 have a COVID on back. He's COVID.
Exactly. All I'll say is this, man. Also, the goal you guys scored against Man United with Cole Palmer, the softest goal I've ever seen in my entire life. Andre Onana is just bad.
He's bad.
He's
going to prove how bad in the next match we talk about.
He's not good.
Pretty bad. And
because that goal,
the softest wrist in football.
All I'll say is this, man. This is Cole Palmer's first goal through open play, I think.
Yeah.
And Andre Onana just sucks. He sucks. And I saw a tweet by Matteo Bonetti, who does Serie A coverage, for CBS Sports Paramount Plus because they got Serie A, and he says I don't remember Andre Onana being this bad, and I'm thinking that front five of Inter Milan was really good. And they instilled confidence in him. And I'm gonna be real with you. He didn't do a lot there. He just stood a lot. He didn't do it like I remember watching Inter Milan in Champions League, and he didn't really do much.
I thought he was aggressive. I thought he was much more aggressive than he.
He was good with his feet. He was good with his feet, but stopping a ball.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. But like because the ball would come to him, would be out of bounds, or the ball would, or Denzel Dumfries, or damn, who's the other the Italian homie? It was Denzel Dumfries and the Italian, and then it was Alessandro Bastoni, and then Federico DeMarco. There's Federico DeMarco on the other wing back. They controlled the game, and he didn't really have to do anything.
Yeah.
Then at Ajax,
it's easy to be a keeper when you don't have to block the ball very much.
Yeah, and at Ajax, the league sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, like
produces managers like the reigning manager of the month. How does this happen? How does this happen? Especially because we're going to move on from that match. There's more to me to complain about Chelsea later.
Mm-hmm.
Villa 1, City 0. And the scoreline very much favors City. Because they got their asses handed to them.
22-2.
Yep.
Shots for Villa versus Man City. 22-2 Villa.
They didn't even concede a corner.
Nothing. It was pure domination.
Yeah, City even came in having to borrow their old kit. Those stupid burgundy shorts with the white top. Like, come on. What are you guys doing? Ridiculous. Yeah. There's only like 4 colors in the Premier League. It looks like ridiculous. Anyways. Yeah.
If I see one more team wear burgundy, I'm gonna throw myself into the ocean. or claret. It's claret and something.
Yeah, claret. They call it claret, which is
like what? It's like it's Burnley, West Ham.
Yeah.
It's Burnley, West Ham.
Villa. Who else wears it? I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, there's 3 teams with the same kit, with the same kit.
It's annoying.
It's terrible. Did West Ham used to do it? I can't remember. Anyways.
Yes, West Ham.
They get 2 shots on net all match, and they're back to back. It's 2 shots by Holland back to back. In the 12th minute, they went the rest of the game without getting a shot on net. That's how dialed in Villa is
at home.
This at that time their 14th straight win at home. Has Unai Emery been named manager of the month?
No, and you know what's weird too?
Has anyone on their team been named player of the month? Not Harry Maguire? Are you kidding?
That was crazy. All I'll say is this: you know what's crazy about Manchester United? Right? We keep talking about how awful they are, right? Like they're a mess.
Yeah. In
the Premier League, they're not. If you think about it, like the numbers, they were 13th.
They're in 6th place right
now. Yeah, they were 13th, and they went up to 6th. They were the I think last month they were the team with the most points. Just the problem is they just started in 13th, and they went up to 6th. It's a Premier League award. Man United is judged by the overall body of the soccer work, Champions League, other competitions, right? In the Premier League, I think it's their schedule, right? They haven't been playing teams of like.
They had just lost to Newcastle.
They lost to Newcastle. They beat Everton, right? They beat Everton, and then they go against Chelsea, which is a weaker side.
Yeah.
Like their schedule benefited them. I don't think they were ever really challenged in that sense.
They had beaten the week before Luton at home 1-0. So
it was, Chelsea, Newcastle, they lost Newcastle 1-0.
Then they beat
Everton.
Fulham at the Cottage 1-0.
Yeah.
So they're not scoring many goals.
Yeah. And they beat Everton. I think they beat Fulham at the Cottage in like the 90th minute off of a Fulham mistake.
Right.
It wasn't that they beat them.
Yeah.
So the schedule has kind of favored them. And then you keep going down. Then there's the City game that they lost 3-0, but then they beat Sheffield United and they beat Brentford. And they haven't really been facing a lot of top competition. Like coming up, they're going to be against Liverpool and West Ham and Aston Villa. They can go 0-3.
Well, West Ham. You never know with them. You never know with them.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
And then they could lose to Wigan Athletic. You don't know.
You don't know.
But they're definitely going to lose to Bayern because Bayern wants to beat them.
Yep. bad. And if they lose, they're out. I think, right?
Yeah,
I
because
think that's it.
and then the winner of the Copenhagen Galatasaray game makes it.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Boy, would I cry myself to sleep if United were kicked out in the first round of the Champions League. Anyways, let's move on. Oh, we didn't say this question. It was Leon Bailey. You want to talk CONCACAF? Leon
CONCACAF
Bailey.
baby, Leon Bailey,
Leon
Reggae
Bailey.
Boys.
Yeah,
I will always big up my CONCACAF cats. I
sure.
believe CONCACAF. You guys can argue with me any day of the week, and I don't really care. I think CONCACAF is the second most hardest World Cup qualifying in the world.
Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh,
we
all
don't
right.
have Gibraltar and San
Like,
Marino.
are you thinking
And,
because there's just three spots?
well, one, it's three spots, and two, every team plays each other, and there's no rotation.
Yeah.
So like every year, you're facing the same teams that know you every single year.
El
In Europe,
Salvador.
yeah, in Europe, you're facing Gibraltar and San Marino and
Hmm.
Liechtenstein
Sure.
and these small countries that have no business being in World Cup. Like, I'm no offense to, like,
But
I'm sorry.
every once in a while, an Iceland will make it through to the Euros and stuff, which is always fun.
Yeah, that's cute and all, and that's good. But
Hmm.
in CONCACAF,
Greece.
like, and here's the two about also too with Europe, you guys are always playing in domes, so all the conditions are the same. You're always playing in a dome, or like some type of retractable roof stadium. In CONCACAF, you're not playing. You're playing outside.
Hmm.
Like, I remember you watched the Canada Jamaica game where it was raining, torrential, and the field was a little soggy. Try to go. I wanna see France play a game in Trinidad and Tobago. Go play there
I'm sure
when
they
it's
figure they think it,
90 when
I
it's
was-
92.
they think it
And
would
if
be lovely.
Yeah, and then they'll find out how bad it is to play in Guatemala or El Salvador and Nicaragua, and
Is
it's just
it Panama? Panama,
Panama.
where the fans surround the hotels at night, blaring the music and shooting the guns off so that they can't get
I
any
was
sleep.
That's Panama. It's Trinidad and Tobago. You name it. Go play a game in Costa Rica. America does not do well in Costa Rica. Never has, never will. So I'm saying, like, and that's what makes Commonwealth Bowl so difficult too, because you're traversing across the equator. Like, the southern part of Commonwealth Bowl is different from the northern part because the equator cuts South America in half. So
Right,
you play a game in Chile, then you have to go play a game in Bolivia, and then in Brazil, you got to go play a game in Brazil, then Argentina, and these teams, they're soccer powers as well. They have the environment and the soccer powers. I'm just saying, if the United States and Mexico face San Marino and Gibraltar and Liechtenstein and Bosnia Herzegovina on occasion, and Iceland and all these countries, they would make the World Cup every year, of course. That's what makes Italy,
Andorra,
yeah,
Andorra.
Moldova and North Macedonia. I'm sorry, like, that's what makes Italy missing the World Cup, like, really, like, disgusting. I'm like, bro, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, they should.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, before they expanded the field, CONCACAF had one slot, one,
Hmm.
and it always went to Mexico.
Yeah.
It always went to Mexico. But in America, for 40 years, never qualified until 1990. And the year Mexico held the World Cup in '86, Costa Rica made it.
Canada made it.
When?
86. It's the only other time Canada was ever in the World Cup.
So I guess, okay, no. So America didn't make it because they lost Costa Rica. Then Canada made it, right?
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
Mexico got the automatic qualifier bid.
Yep.
And then in 1990, the only reason America made it in 1990 is that Mexico was banned. So if America didn't beat Trinidad and Tobago in '90, it would have been I think it would have been I think Trinidad and Tobago would have won, and they would have
Right.
went to the World Cup in 1990.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
CONCACAF, second most hardest World Cup qualifying in the world, because every team faces each other every year. In some years, you may get Honduras should have beaten Mexico a couple weeks ago, but Mexico, cheated. But we don't talk. We don't say that out loud.
You're kidding. The Mexicans cheated? Crazy. Anyways, let's keep going because we still got tons to go through.
Mm,
And we're talking about Spurs. Not your favorite club, not mine.
nope.
But At least they lost. And they lost to a wishy-washy West Ham team that you never know what you're going to get. But, David
Never
Moyes still
know.
has it. David Moyes still has his job. Spurs had just come off that the draw versus City, and everyone's talking about how they're turning stuff around and stuff like that. And they get the first goal, and Christian Romero's back from suspension.
Dirty
Uh,
ass.
yeah, hits gets a header on it, and the big looping header or whatever just goes in the top corner. It's actually a pretty nice shot. So he gets him on board, but they had all kinds of chances, couldn't do anything with him. Second half comes around, a little bit of luck for West Ham. And when there's luck and there's West Ham, you think of Mohamed Kudus, because his shot bounces off Romero, then bounces off Ben Davies, and it gets into Jared Bowen, who somehow is onside for all of this, scores a pretty easy goal, top corner, and then 74th minute,
You want to talk about luck?
Udogie decides he's going to tap one back to Vicario, and he just pushes it out towards James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse has a whole net to shoot at, hits the post.
And smart by Jared Bowen not touching the ball.
That's the
because
exact
he was
thing.
offsides.
He was way outside.
And he just like walked away and was like,
hey, get the ball. So
Yeah.
No one else was coming. The Spurs all stood still.
Yep.
So Ward-Prowse says, okay, I'll just put it in this easy empty net.
They're just a horrible defensive team.
Terrible.
They're not good. And people don't want to talk about it. Ange Postecoglou is not. It's not good. There's no adjustment. They play one way. And that's it.
The high line. They like the high line, and they'll never change it. Never.
Yeah, because that's the way we play, mate, and we do it this way, mate, mate.
Oh my God! Holy hell! All right. Okay, so we move on to a team that was given a 10-point penalty. Even though on appeal that some of that might get taken back, we'll find out soon. But it doesn't look like they matter because they're on fire right now. Somehow Newcastle continues to win, and this time they slap around. Everton is the one who I'm talking about. This time they slap around Newcastle, who just didn't show up.
Nope.
Yeah, they're getting some guys back. So this whole whining about injuries and stuff like that's going to have to stop pretty soon. Took a long time for a goal, though. It took almost 80 minutes for a goal. It's Dwight McNeil who gets the goal. Dwight McNeil. Everyone's scoring these days.
Yeah, man. And you know what? They scored, and it came in bunches.
Yeah, and that's from stealing the ball. It came off stealing the ball off of Kieran Trippier.
Bad.
And everyone just kind of let him go into the box to find spaces. Oh, okay, I'll just take it from here. And then Trippier loses the ball again in the 85 minutes, and Jack Harrison takes it and puts it back, pass through the box with a nice dummy by McNeil. I loved it. I don't know why I like that play.
No, that was Decore. Then Decore scores.
No, Decore scores, but it was McNeil's dummy, the one where he
yes.
kick it or lets it go through his legs or whatever.
He's let it free.
Gives him the space. And then Beto gets the last one 7 minutes into extras. Now Nick Pope's injured and he's going to be gone a while.
4 months, I believe.
Yeah. They talked about the keeper they had. I forget the Czech keeper that they had. They're very happy with them. Martin Dubravka. I think I said it right. So they said, we're very happy with him. After this result, and the result we're going to talk about a little bit, I'm pretty sure they're going to be on the market for a goddamn keeper come January because this is not going to do for them. They're far too porous defensively right now to allow poor goaltending into the mix. And at least you had it with Nick Pope, but you do not have it with this guy. I can tell you that right now. Moving on. Now I think we're getting into the Saturday games. We're getting into what would this be? Week 16, I guess, considered?
I believe so.
Yeah. Palace, and they're at home. and they're going to lose to Liverpool again. And maybe Roy Hodgson's job isn't so safe anymore, which would be amazing considering him having been gone for so long, and then coming back and all the goodwill and stuff like that. And just over a year from that, it's a time to say goodbye. Good night, Roy, once and for all. But
Well,
yeah,
I was watching a video about, Stevie Nicol, Liverpool legend Stevie Nicol. He blatantly comes out and says it. Yeah, they didn't really weren't doing anything until they kicked Jordan Ayew out the game.
yeah.
So he was
That
saying,
that that Jordan Ayew call
Mhm.
again. It's just that stupid. That's the second yellow, and him just kicking the ball 8 feet after the play, after the whistle. That
Mhm.
gets yellow cards now. Somehow that's time wasting.
Mhm. I
Yeah,
believe
I'm
someone was
not a
like, "Why
I'm
don't you?
not a fan of it.
Why don't they give Bukayo Saka a yellow for doing that when he kicked it to the goalie?" Like time went. I was like, "All right, then we don't know what the hell's going on." This weirdness about Crystal Palace. They're playing three center backs
Yeah.
in the sense that they're playing Chris Richards in the midfield. Chris Richards, um, American center back. Chris Richards is playing
Hmm.
midfield. Um, he doesn't do anything offensively. I don't think he's there to do anything offensively. He's just there for defensive purposes and corralling the ball and passing it to somebody. And he's like, he's the six,
Hmm.
like the extremely defensive six. Like I don't know if he's ever. I need to watch him now because I don't know if you. Why do you have a center back playing your six? I understand if you want to like play like really defensive, yeah. But I didn't watch this game, and I want to know if they made him go up the field and play offense because that would
They
be kind
must
of
have.
weird. Has
They
to
must
be
have.
because
Yeah.
he plays playing midfield. He can't just be out there doing no offense.
It's just a
You
lack
know,
of depth, I guess, in their system too. If any, it must ask,
probably
can anybody play this right now or whatever? We'll
can
try you
anybody
now.
play the six?
Yep.
And
Well,
I
let's
think
see.
with them, and I think with American players, the one good thing that American players are, and I think world football coaches love is they'll play anything
Adaptable.
because they just want to play. They want to play because
Yep.
they're fighting the stigma of you're an American player. Why the hell should I even you whatever? So they're
Yep.
like I want to play. And Chris Richards is like I'll play. You're you're six. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Christian Pulisic is a left winger, but in AC Milan they made him play right wing, and he's like cool. But there's other people who are like I don't want to play on the right. I only play on the left, or vice versa. I only play on the right. I never play on the left.
Hmm.
And since Kylian Mbappe, where he said he hates playing the nine, you know, in that sense.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
He can play wherever he wants, though. Too. Let's be real. Palace did open the scoring. Mateta earns a penalty. Makes up
Mhm.
for a weird VAR call in the first half. I didn't understand, but yeah. After Ayew goes off, of course, there's this young kid playing for Liverpool. I think he's from Egypt, named Mo Salah, and he immediately takes advantage, like within a couple minutes or whatever, scoring off, deflecting off Nathaniel Klein. I guess it's his 200th Liverpool goal. Fares. How many goals did you score for Liverpool?
3.
Well, that's three more than me. I could tell you that. I was not. I would never have been close to goal. Harvey Elliott gets the winner as the clock strikes 90 in the top of the box. Liverpool, for the time being, leaps over Arsenal and are in first place
Mm-hmm.
in the goddamn league. So we'll see what happens later on that day. Uh, Now, good news, game. Sheffield United, the team Adelia and I dubbed the worst team we've seen since we've started this podcast. Get get a win. It's their second of the season. Of course, Wilder's first win back. Of course, Mbumo not in for the bees. Mbumo hurt. Takes it till first half extra time, and Brentford just being sloppy and careless with the ball, not clearing it. And is James McAtee eventually taking it to the top corner of the box and putting it in the far corner of the net. Yes, their second win, but you saw a lot of positive change. You're
Mhm.
seeing change in this squad. It does. They don't look like a team that's going to give up 8 goals anymore. A
Thank
team
the
that'll give
Lord.
up 5 goals anymore. Like they're leaking 5 goals at a time.
Mhm.
So yeah, still a long way to go. I do not think they're going to be. They'll save themselves
No, no.
promotion. They will be relegated. But yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see them play well. Of course, just in time because they're playing a certain London team this week and probably end up beating them because that's the way my life has been going. Anyways, next, Wolves won in the smoking hot seat of Steve Cooper's Forest. Won as well. They managed to draw. They stopped the losing. They had the owner's son come in for this one. Fares, Evangelos Marinakis' son, Militatis, was in the net. In the park at the Molyneux. I guess he gave the club a pre-match pep speech, and it worked. I guess they went out. They scored first. Toffolo. Uh,
Believe they started Matt Turner this game.
yeah, Toffolo scores it. I think it goes off of Craig Dawson. Well, sorry, Craig Dawson kind of kicks it up. It looks like it's going towards line. Then Craig
Mhm.
Dawson kicks it up. It goes into the net. I didn't think the ball was over yet, but they give the goal to Toffolo or whatever. So that's nice. Cunha ties it up in the 32nd minute mark.
Mhm.
Really nice pass from Sarabia that set that up. Force is still allowing way too much possession. They're still giving up way too many chances. But they got some quality chances of their own. They just needed to finish them or whatever. It was a much better performance this week. I haven't heard anything else about Steve Cooper's position being
Yeah.
in trouble. I still don't see why get rid of him now. It makes no sense. Why not go in the summer when there's such a much
I
larger?
understand. Because that's what thing. This thing about world football, Rob. They're scared of relegation. They're scared that if we continue doing this, we will
Yeah,
be kicked out, and we need to make the change now to save our season. Or then, but me, my personal thing is,
it's worked for Everton 2 years in a row.
yeah, like who'd they fire before Sean Dyche?
Frank Lampard.
Frank Lampard, yeah, because he's very bad at his job.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, and
But
it also did work for Aston Villa. They fired the other shitty English
mm,
manager who used to be a star midfielder.
bye bye
Um,
Stevie.
yeah, bye bye Stevie G, and then they got Unai Emery, and we'll talk about them a little bit later.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then like for every Unai Emery, there is a bunch of
Frank Lampard's.
Frank Lampards. Yeah, like the caretaker managers and the just keep us up. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and you get relegated, and then the thing is, you should just keep it going because either Steve Cooper improves the team, or the team is not good and you get relegated, and you fire Steve Cooper, and then you have a more robust list of coaches because the list of coaches now isn't gonna be the same because a lot of other coaches will be either gone or they want a
Yeah,
raise.
if you need a head start, towards the transfer window,
Mhm.
you let them go with 2 games left because at that point your fate's decided for the most part.
Yes.
That's why you can get a little bit of head start. You can get some
Mhm.
people and you can get a strategy going towards that. But to do
Yes.
it now ahead of the January window just doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Anyways, 1-0 there. Now we get to see the true Man U again. Not the Man U that looked like 2007 Man United.
Mhm.
This is the Man United that we've grown to love and abhor here in 2023. They lose at home. They lose at Old Trafford. Again, a place that Chelsea hasn't won since 2013, May of 2013.
Mhm.
So over 10 years. They lose to the Cherries 3-0. Pretty good. Pretty good week for AFC Bournemouth. Yeah, just reminding everyone they're not a great club. Um, you
Bournemouth
know,
or Man United?
no, Man United.
Okay.
Bournemouth was
Shout out to
Bournemouth's
them.
been on fire. They've been great.
Shout out to their manager. I don't know his name, but he's Spanish. He's Mikel Arteta's childhood friend.
Oh boy.
They've known each other since they were like 10 years old. It's like him and Xavi Alonso, and I think his name is Andre Aloni. I think his name is. So there's that. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Saving the cherries. Keeping the cherries up. After the cherries lost their longtime manager in Eddie Howe to Newcastle, and they got them, which is good.
Yep.
Funny thing about this match, Rob,
Mm.
I was watching Gary Neville's podcast with
Oh yeah, you like that podcast.
yeah, Stick to Football, and they do the Super Six pick where they pick games, right? And they go to the Man United Bournemouth game, and Ian Wright says, "I think Bournemouth wins. I don't have a good feeling for Man United. I think Bournemouth is gonna beat them." And all three of them make fun of him. Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville, and Roy Keane. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I know we're bad, but we're not cherries bad. And the comments were ripping Ian Wright apart, making fun, like, come on, Righty, this has gone through your head. And guess who has the last laugh now? Ian Wright.
Yeah.
Because they were bad.
Yeah, screw Gary.
They're bad. Very bad.
Yeah. It only took them 5 minutes to score as well. Yeah. Who scored? Was it Solanke that scored? I think Solanke
I
scored.
believe.
Yeah.
Yep, it's Dominic
scored.
Solanke.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the one with the back heel flick. The one where
Mhm.
he's running by just a little back heel flick. Love that kind of stuff. A little cheeky goal to get things going. Yeah, nice pass from Lewis Cook for that one.
Mhm.
Phil Billing gets a header to one, to put them up two. And Marcus Senesi. That's it. I got it. Yes.
Senesi.
Yeah. Had some at Tavernier corner 5 minutes later. So yeah, 3 goals. Again, Onana looked like Onana. Man U looked like Man U. People could, like, Bournemouth could run through them, even though United had the chances and had the ball. They couldn't do anything with it as soon as somebody else had it. And they weren't pressing with the ball. A lot of side to side shit. A lot like a certain team that I like, and that has let me down so far the last 18 months. Let's move on. Brighton tied Burnley. So Burnley gets a point out of this.
They do.
Which is good for them. James Trafford was terrific for Burnley.
I got a question about Brighton. So if y'all face Brighton, y'all can't play Robert Sanchez.
Is he on loan?
Didn't you tell me he was on loan? Or did you buy him from Brighton?
I think we bought him.
You bought him? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they loaned anybody else. They loaned out Azpilicueta, or not Azpilicueta. They loaned out Kepa Arrizabalaga. So I don't think they.
You guys loaned out Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Yeah, we loaned out Kepa
to Real Madrid.
So I think we bought Sanchez.
Okay.
And even so, it didn't matter because he gets hurt later. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for Burnley. They're playing well. They're just not getting wins. But like I was saying about Trafford, I think he made 10 saves in this game, and a lot of them were like 5-star saves. He was very good.
Getting known as Tim Howard against Belgium.
Yeah. This kid isn't going to be in Burnley long. He's getting bought. It's not going to be January, but it'll be over the summer.
Absolutely. He's gone.
Someone is paying an awful lot of. Burnley isn't going to make it, guys. Burnley's going to be relegated. It's already over for them. They're not going to stick around. So they're going to have to make their money. They're going to sell this kid for a lot of cash to be this young and this good and that English this early in his career. Pretty important stuff. Important stuff. So, yeah. So good for them. A point is nice. It won't matter in the long run. Burnley's done. Now,
shout out to Luca Koleosho. Yeah. Having a great couple weeks. The dual national.
Yeah, like that guy.
Yeah.
You've been hearing his name more and more over the last 5 weeks and stuff too. So something's clicking in him. He's getting it. All right. Do you want to talk about Arsenal's match now? You want to leave it for a bit?
What else do we have?
We got just a few. We got Everton, Chelsea. We got Fulham again, Spurs, and Newcastle, and then the City game against Luton.
Sure, let's leave it.
Okay, we'll go to Chelsea.
Let's just go through these. Let's go through these like kind of rapid fire.
Yeah, I've already railed against Chelsea.
Yeah.
They were terrible against Man U.
Mm-hmm.
They were terrible here. They're just not good. They're not good. Too young. They're too small. They need leadership. They're already looking at stuff in the next transfer window. Already, Fares, because Pochettino is unimpressed by the level of players. Uh, we're not very much impressed with you, Poch. Why don't you get your own shit together, Poch? Why don't you make some absolute goddamn decisions, Poch? Why do you wait so long to put a striker in? Why do you take out strikers and put in midfielders? Why do you take out midfielders and put in right backs? It makes no sense. You aren't making sense. Football isn't a difficult game. Play players in their positions. Don't set them up to fail. You're setting them up to fail.
Shout out to Reece
And,
James. He
and they're
played
too
in this
slow
game.
for
Played
a
in
little
this
bit,
game, Reece
for a
James.
little bit, for a little bit until he got hurt.
And he got hurt. I think Reece James is allergic to 45 minutes of football.
I think
And
he's
then I
fine.
think, and then I
I think he's
think,
40. I think 45. He's fine. It's just that if it ever creeps up over that, he's in trouble.
I think he's like a mogwai. When it reaches 45 minutes of football, that's all he got. Because after 45 minutes, he is just he's
Yeah,
like leave me alone.
yeah, he changes. He
Yeah,
changes. Yeah, you're also not supposed to feed him after midnight. That's another
exactly.
thing. Yeah,
Unlike his sister who can play over 45 minutes, but she tries to break everyone's leg as she does it.
yeah, that's what champs do. She's a
Yeah.
champion.
Even though they
Uh,
lost 4-1 to Arsenal.
yeah, that's an outlier. That's an outlier. And then the Arsenal fans surrounding the car or whatever and putting up the four or whatever for the four. League
Sam
one,
Kerr.
but whatever. Yeah, so it's just
Arsenal has done something Chelsea's never done on the women's side. We've done a quadruple, Robert.
Ooh,
So you should really zip it.
that and 45 cents. Get you a small coffee. Someplace. I don't know where. I don't
No,
think
I'm just,
45 cents.
I'm just doing my Chelsea impression every time they're like,
I
"We
don't like.
have Champions Leagues."
Yeah. Oh, you guys probably did it back when was the printing press out back then? Did anybody know? If you guys did
All
that?
we did was go unbeaten. That's all we did.
Yeah. And if you go to your local library, you can see it in the newspaper. Anyways, yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Todd Bowley.
It's near the funny pages.
Todd Bowley is taking
Apple is a
18 months.
financial criminal. He's a financial criminal. Did you see what he's doing with his other sports team where they're making their star player?
I'm a Blue Jays fan. Of course, I saw what he did with
That
his
is
one of his other teams.
one of his other, yeah, because he also co-owns the Lakers,
Mm-hmm. The Sparks.
the Sparks, and then he owns the LA Dodgers, and then he owns a team in France.
Yep.
What does he own?
Is it Strasbourg or whatever? Wherever.
Strasbourg. No, Strasbourg. Yeah. He owns Strasbourg.
Mm-hmm.
And deferred payments.
Yeah,
Like,
$700 million over 10 years to someone who is right now a DH.
Yes, because he's not pitching.
A DH in the National League affairs.
Yeah, he's not pitching at all.
He's gonna have to play first base somehow.
Exactly. So,
how much are they paying the guy who's already their first baseman?
Well, no, well, Rob,
$300 million.
Rob, the DH is allowed in the National League
when they play the American League.
No, the DH.
They
made a universal.
Universal.
Yeah, it was after COVID. After COVID, they made a universal.
Oh yeah. Well. Well, $70 million is worth about 35 home runs because he's going to protect his arm because he has to pitch as well at some point in his career, you would imagine. So we'll see. Anyways, I've railed on and on about Chelsea. They're clumsy. They can't fucking put any 5 foot passes together. Even it's that simple. Enzo Fernandez only played one advancing pass the entire game. Everything was side to side. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with these guys. Whatever. Let's see if they can get together against Sheffield United, and then everything will be great and fine and dandy. And I won't think about us dropping all the way down to 12th or whatever we are right now, and that really we should be a lot further back because Everton should be ahead of us. So we'll see.
So after this match, I looked at the table. Everton's at 13 points.
Hmm.
So if you bring them back their 10 points, they're at 23 points, and I believe they're 20. That makes them 11th.
Yeah, they'd be good.
Yeah, that makes them 11th. And on more brighter news, speaking of young talent, shout out to Lucas Gobin,
Dobbin.
Everton,
Hmm.
Everton Academy kid, scoring the game clincher.
Yep, he gets a
Yeah.
goal. Everybody knew gets a goal. It seems like we said at the top of the show.
Mhm.
Let's move on to something that's not new, and that's Fulham winning 5-0.
Ain't that the truth?
5 different scores this time. One, I'm gonna try to say for another first timer I think on the program. I'm gonna have a little trouble with Raul Jimenez. I'm not gonna have trouble saying him. Willian, of course, the only cottager that I don't hate with all my guts. Here we go. Tosin Adarabayo. Adarabayo? It's probably close.
Close.
Anyways, he scores. I think that's his first.
By the
Harry
way, Rob,
Wilson. Yeah, and
remember when
Carlos
I
Vinicius.
when I brought up that Axel Disasi just stood there where Robert Sanchez flew himself?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? The it was this game. It was against Everton where Disasi just stood there and did nothing.
That was Levi Colwell.
No, it was Disasi. It was Disasi. It was Disasi and both of them. Both of them, I guess.
When the deflection comes out or whatever, and a guy puts his hands behind his back instead of running towards the ball and trying to get in front of
That
it.
was Coldwell, and then
Yeah.
as the ball is being kicked, Disasi watches the ball fly past him.
I don't doubt that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sassy, and he has the size. He has the size I want. It just doesn't have the smarts. And again, so young. What is he? 21 years old. They're just so young,
Mhm.
and they just don't have those people. Like they don't have anybody to put fear into. Like at old Chelsea, you had guys like John Terry who could put fear into you. You had
Mhm.
guys like if you go up front, of course, you had the King, and then you had you just had all these strength guys. You got fast guys, guys with skill, guys who are mean. Now what do we got? We got a bunch of apology guys, and they just yeah they'll they'll figure it out. But how long is it going to take? It's like I can't afford any more gray hair, Ferris. I'm already losing my eyesight. I have to get glasses today for the first time ever. These are just readers. I have to go
Mhm.
get actual glasses for the first time. I'm losing my vision, losing my hair, well, losing the color. It's all because of Chelsea, I'm sure of it. Uh,
I'm actually losing my hair, I think.
oh boy, that's at least one thing I'll always have is a little bit of hair.
Mhm.
I can always dye it. Okay, yeah. So 5 more for Fulham. West Ham didn't look sharp at all. What are you gonna do? Yeah. Hammers. If the Hammers win this game, they would have jumped up to 6th spot.
Mhm.
West Ham, but they didn't. So whatever. They don't. Now, uh, to a team who wins, and then of course, all I see on the feed or whatever on YouTube is like, is this the real Spurs? Are we finally seeing the real Spurs? Because they beat Newcastle 4-1. But to be fair, they beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Udogi makes up for that poor pass or whatever, and he gets on the board.
Mhm.
He found some space, gets us like a nice pass by Sun Hung Min. How about Richarlison getting
Finally
two,
scoring.
getting two with his feet?
Yes.
You always get goals with headers. He gets two.
And he was on sides and he didn't get no
Yeah,
yellows.
that's even more amazing.
I
Not
know.
one of them was offside. He did it,
Tremendous
guys.
by him.
He did it. Congratulations to Richarlison, who had two
Mhm.
goals with his feet that weren't offside. Pretty crazy. And then Son's brought down by young Dubrovka in
Mm-hmm.
the box, even though it just looks like Son's trailing his back leg that runs into Dubrovka, and that's the fucking contact. And I hate that. I hate it. That's just searching for a foul, searching for a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that VAR should be saying. We know what you did. No, like they just don't have any guts though, so whatever. So he gets to convert it, and then Callum Wilson scores one late to make it look well, not even respectable. It was irrespectable. And speaking of respectable, him and Vicario get into it
Yeah.
at the end of the game. Something about each other having a lack of respect for each other. Like, who cares? You guys sound like a bunch of crybabies. Lack of respect. There should be no respect. Should be
No
hate and
respect.
anger. Hate and
Absolutely.
anger. That's what
If
sports
you
is
should
supposed
hate a man like Patrick Vieira hated Gary Neville in that
to
tunnel.
be. Yeah.
And then
Yes.
Roy Keane ended up yelling at Patrick Vieira, and then Vieira yelled at Keane. And you ever seen that tunnel video? That
Nope.
video's that video is
Yeah, of course I see.
wild
I see.
because you just hear it's just a bunch of noise, and it's just a bunch of like loud noise. Because it was like Highbury, and then it's just they're in that tunnel and they're all scrunched in, and you just hear like "Grrr," and then all you hear is Vieira. Then they tell Vieira to stop talking, and Vieira then stops talking. But they told Roy Keane to stop talking, and he just wouldn't shut the hell up. And Roy was like, "I'll see you on the field. I'll see
That's
you on the
impressive.
field. We'll see you on the field."
Yeah.
Yeah, because Patrick wanted to intimidate Gary Neville, because Gary Neville is like 5'4"
Yeah.
compared to Patrick Vieira,
Yeah.
and he was doing it. And Roy Keane, being a crazy person, was like, You're not going to be intimidating us, fella." I think that's an
That's
Irish accent.
pretty spot on. Pretty
Yeah,
spot on. That was North. I think that was more Jamaican. Anyways,
I said
uh,
fella.
let's move on to the last match, and it's another strong match by
Mhm.
Luton, but ultimately, again, they missed out on points. Of course, having to face the champions, the defending champions, it was not going to be easy for them, even if Erling Haaland is out with some niggling foot thing, and Doku out for however long he's going to be out for. They actually get on the board first, right at halftime, like right at almost a stroke at halftime. Ross Barkley, some real good work to get the ball to Alfie Doherty, who passes it to Townsend, and whose cross is met by Elijah Adebayo, who's had a pretty good couple weeks. Another ladder climber for the header there. The kid can jump. But second half and everything falls back into place for City. Bernardo Silva gets one to the far side of the net. His teammates flopping everywhere, including
Mhm.
Kyle Walker for some reason, way out of the play, flopping, trying to find something. Somebody else in the box flopping down, trying to get something. Silva just takes the ball or whatever and puts a good hard shot into the far corner and stuff like that. At least with the rest there, they didn't buy any of it. It's like, what are you guys doing? Get up. Guys, get up. Like, what are you doing? This is Luton. You're fishing for this stuff versus Luton. That's the kind of desperation that's set in to the City
Mhm.
team now. And then then it's only like 2 minutes later, Jack Grealish gets one on the counter attack. Uh, it looked to me like Alvarez had played a handball. Like, I was sure of it. I was angry till I
Mhm.
looked at the one angle and it just goes off his face. Another another face handball that looks like a handball for a second week in a row. So yeah, poor Luton, still in 18th. City, third place. It's an interesting position. So now at the top of the table we have Liverpool,
Mhm.
your Arsenal Gunners,
Mhm.
and Man City, followed by I don't even know who's in fourth.
Aston Villa.
Seville. Sorry, I didn't
No,
say
no, no,
Villa
Rob. I
twice.
think you got that. You got that wrong.
I said
I bel
Villa in third and
Villa is
City
third. Villa is
and City
third.
in fourth.
City's in fourth.
Yeah, that's where I was wrong.
Yes,
Pretty
they're all
incredible
separated.
stuff.
The top four is separated by 4 points. The top three are separated by 2 points.
By the end of this month, we'll have played like like next week is like at least we have 1 week
Mm-hmm.
where it's just a common, regular week, 10 games, because after that we are on a mad dash to New Year's where everybody plays the teams all the time.
Yeah.
Like everybody's
And
gonna
I
be playing all the
believe
time.
what's crazy is I believe Arsenal plays Liverpool twice in the span of like a week and a half. Because
Makes
the
sense.
second matchup is the third round of the FA Cup.
Oh yeah, at least with those kind of things, it's a different team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it could be a different team. It depends on how you want to
Yeah.
play it, but
And then
it's the
but then we faced them on February 3rd. So then we faced them like 3 weeks later. There's no space. Like,
if you guys want to win the league, you guys have to beat the top teams.
and Aston Villa apparently.
Well, Villa's a very good team. They've been a very good team for a little while now. Going into last year, when I thought Unai Emery should have been named manager of the year,
I
to
agree.
this year, where there's a very good chance that he could be, but he'll probably go to fucking Eric Ten Hag or something stupid like that.
That'll be dumb.
Anyways, yeah. So we did our predictions. You had only predicted for 2 of the games or whatever. We had a deal last week, so 2 of the 20. You got them both right, so you have that. You predicted both Wolves and Arsenal to win the first day there. Of the rest of the 20, I got the living crap kicked out of me. Adelia won, and it wasn't even close. She had twice as many as I had right.
So
But
you had 0 and she had like
how
1.
dare you? How dare you? I didn't even have to. I think I had 5. I had 5 and she had 10.
Dang.
Yeah, so she did pretty good. Now, although she's not here, she's already given her predictions. We'll get some predictions from you here, Mr. Muthana. Who do you think would win between Forest at home?
We're not talking Aston Villa, Arsenal.
Well, we haven't even gone back to it. I apologize very much. Let's talk about this match.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, we were sure. I was sure that you or Adelia would have no problems with the outcome of this match. None at all. You can't have any problems with the goal. It's a good goal, Bailey.
Yeah, it was
in.
so yeah.
Mc,
So like
McGinn with the
that's how you get the Arsenal defense. It takes them a time to settle in, but then when they're settled in, good luck. So you have to attack them very early.
Yep.
And that's what Aston Villa did. They attacked them very early. And then for the rest of the game, Arsenal controlled the game and Arsenal just could not finish their chances. Right?
No.
Just couldn't finish their chances. But
I think it was a game to forget for Martin Odegaard.
Absolutely.
He's and I've been fast to praise him. Even though it hurts, I thought he's been very good for them, especially this year. But yeah, not his best match.
No, it wasn't. And Martinelli and Saka were a little disappointing. Jesus was meh. The entire attack was a bunch of meh. But then we got into like the nonsense where Jesus gets kicked in the Achilles in the box and they don't call it a penalty, but they called it a penalty literally 3 hours prior in the Crystal Palace game against Liverpool.
Are you telling me, hold on one sec. Are you trying to tell me that there's inconsistency in the refereeing in the English Premier League? I won't have it.
I think I am. But then here's the egregious one. This has happened to Arsenal twice.
Yeah.
Away from the play, it's like no one is in it. One of our players gets elbowed in the head. Again.
Yeah.
First it was Jorginho and Joelinton. No, Jorginho and Bruno Gomes in Newcastle. And then now it's this time. The video is kind of fuzzy, so I don't know what Arsenal player got hit. But an Arsenal player, you see the Aston Villa player swing the elbow away from the play. They're not doing it, and he gets hit in the face. And it's not a straight red. No one talks about it. People just keep moving. Right. Then, how do you call a handball from 20 yards away from the box while you're standing behind a player? No offense. You're a human being. You do not have eagle eyes. You cannot know what just happened there.
Right.
Keep it as a goal. Check VAR. And then if you check VAR, you realize that Matty Cash commits a handball penalty.
Did he touch the ball first, or did Havertz first? Because I thought Havertz touched it first. I
So
think
it looks like
Matty
Havertz.
Cash hits it, and then Havertz does the two
So
hands.
it looks like Havertz touches it first, right? But Havertz is just kind of like squeezing his arms, flailing, but the
Right.
ball travels up Havertz's chest. And then it flows back, and Matty Cash hits it. And then it hits Havertz's arm afterwards. So
Yeah.
it does hit Havertz's hand, but after it hit Matty Cash's hand. So the
Right.
first handball negates the second handball. Right?
Yeah.
But you called it a handball on Arsenal from 20 yards away. And we didn't have Mikel Arteta because they gave him a red card for celebrating the 97-minute winner on a Tuesday. And I think that
would maybe I'm thinking maybe like the assistant referee or whatever on the side, like the linesman, maybe he saw the handball or whatever, and that's what he called it in.
no,
Yeah, 'cause I agree. I knew where he was standing.
the
So,
head ref called it, Rob, not the
yeah.
linesman.
No,
The
I
head
thought
ref
maybe
did.
the linesman called it into the ref handball, but yeah, maybe not.
Well, you know what? If it's a handball in the box, don't you go to VAR?
I thought VAR did look at it.
I don't remember.
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
think they did.
because they kept showing the one thing. They'd have it freeze framed on when it's touching Havertz's arm,
Mhm.
but you would run the thing or whatever, and you just see it touching like everything. So that's why I thought it went off of Havertz first,
Mhm.
then off Matty Cash, and then the kind of the two hit for Havertz or whatever before the ball falls down.
Yeah, no, yeah, because it looks like because Havertz is trying to keep his arm away, and he kicks it and he keeps his arm away, and it's a handball on Matty Cash. It does not touch Havertz whatsoever.
Yeah.
And shout out to Kai Havertz playing very well. He's our November player of the month. And you know what? It got a little chippy with him and a couple of the Aston Villa players, and he shoved them back. He got in their face. One of them shoves him, and he chest bumps the player like, "Yo, what's up?"
It's about
Show a little bit more fire. The timid deer doesn't really exist anymore in this case.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kai Havertz.
It took a while. For the cocoon, the chrysalis,
Yes.
to crack, and now here comes your timid butterfly.
Yes.
Ready to attack. So, but yeah, it's a tough loss for you guys, especially playing against a top team. But
Mhm.
I think the league would like to preserve some of this win streak for Villa. I think it's a good story for them. So there's probably a bit of that.
Why?
I'll never trust anything the league does. So yeah, if there was a little thing or whatever, they're saying like, no, we can't allow this.
And then
So
I'd
believe it.
not even the handball on Havertz. Like Jesus should have drew a penalty because he got kicked in the Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
The game should have been tied at that moment of the game because we should have gotten a penalty and we would have definitely converted. And that's
I would say at least you'd have the shot at converting it.
We
if you're like Bruno Fernandes, maybe not.
Oh yeah, it's true. But there's no Robert Sanchez blocking it. It's Emi Martinez.
Yeah.
Emi played very well.
He did play well. He played pretty well.
Played pretty well
for himself. Yeah.
Him and Unai Emery must really love this win because they have the stain of the dead Arsenal years.
Yes. I'm gonna look up. I'm interested. When does Villa come to Arsenal? Let's have a quick look because that's going to be.
I believe. All right, let me check for you, Rob. Arsenal, Villa. Let me look at Villa.
Yeah.
They go to Arsenal April 13th.
Oh, day after my birthday. That'll be a nice little birthday present. Maybe bloodbath. A bloodbath.
Because we already played them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Oh, and close to the end of the year too. That could be more than just pride.
That could be for the top of the table, top 4 spot.
Mm-hmm.
It could mean a lot.
Sure. Okay. So we did talk about it. I'm happy about that. One other thing I'm happy about that we failed to mention was that I actually hit record this time, and it started
I
recording.
know, Robert. Good for you, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Give us 1 second before we end the show. We just wanted to have Justin talk about our Patreon for y'all, as he would say.
Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. Little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
That beard is hypnotizing. It draws you in. Okay, let's get to some predicting here quick, Ferris. Now, first match. It's on a Friday because everything's going to be messed up now. Forest, like I was saying, at home. Big match for Steve Cooper. And they get to have Spurs as the visitors.
Forest draw.
Ooh, smart. See, I said Spurs would win that one just because, things like to disappoint me. Adelia said Spurs as well.
I think the high line is going to bite them in the derriere with the attacking of Forest.
I like it. Gonna own you up front. Yep. Makes sense. Bournemouth get to continue at home against Luton.
Bournemouth.
I think Bournemouth is going to have themselves a pretty nice time here. They get the points while you can. All you have to do is stay up. Chelsea in their shit show at the Bridge, but Sheffield United shouldn't be that big of an opposition.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea's going to win. Chelsea's going to win. Everyone's going to feel good for a couple of days. Then it's all going to sink, and then we're all going to feel like shit afterwards again. Man City at home to Crystal Palace. City back at their winning ways. First win in 5 games.
I'm going to go City.
I think City's going to win as well. Palace isn't looking too great. Newcastle at home. It's at St. James Park against Fulham and all the goals they've been scoring lately.
Yeah, I'm going to go Fulham.
So did Adelia and I. We both went Fulham. Yeah, Fulham's on a roll right now. Burnley has the unenviable task of hosting a red-hot Everton squad right now at the Turf Moor.
What? I'm going with the Evertonians.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called? The Evertonians?
Sure, the Toffees.
The Toffees. The Toffees. What the fuck are they called? The Toffees?
That's just their nickname. They probably had a candy producing place there. You could call them Liverpuglians, but what do you want to do that for?
No, you don't call Evertonians Liverpudlians.
Well, they're from Liverpool. They're from Liverpool.
I know, but they don't want to be associated with Liverpool at all.
Oh my god. Yeah, this one might be a tough one for you, but Arsenal's taking on Brighton.
Well, Arsenal, because I want them to slap around Roberto De Zerbi's face. I'm about to call him Richard De Zerbi.
That would have been nice. That's his uncle. His uncle Richard De Zerbi.
Yeah, his uncle Richard.
Yep. I thought you were going to say something about Pascal Gross too. Anyways, Brentford.
Pascal's so gross.
Oh my god. Brentford takes on Villa.
I'm gonna go Villa, man. I'm gonna go Villa.
They've been pretty hot on the road, but Brentford hasn't looked very sharp, and Mbumo might not be playing either.
Yeah, I don't think Mbumo's playing.
Now, a team that I don't know which one's going to show up, but West Ham taking on Wolves.
I'm gonna go West Ham. Are they at London Stadium?
Yeah, they're at London Stadium.
Yeah, let's go West Ham.
Yeah, I said West Ham as well. Adelia said draw, which is could be right.
Yeah.
But this also seems like one of those games that Wolves just wins. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Then, like 10 years ago, this would have been the highlight of the entire week. Liverpool versus Manchester United.
Go Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool isn't going to lose at home to this United squad.
If this was like 2004.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
things
you know
could
what's funny too? Like, you know what's funny? Both of these squads,
Gerrard versus Rooney.
they've never actually been good together.
Yeah, no.
Like
Yeah.
in the 80s, Man United sucked. Liverpool's great. In the 90s, Liverpool sucked. Man United was great. In the early
Man United got
2000s,
helped out.
yeah, helped out. But then in the early 2000s, that's when they were both pretty good. You know, Liverpool never won a league because two other teams kept snatching it from their
They
life.
won a Champions League.
Yeah, that's the only thing they can hold. They can hang their head on.
Yep, that's a big one. But so did United, and I don't like talking about it. Anyways, because John Terry slips. God damn it. Anyways, we still got two.
Yes.
We still got two.
I
Anyway,
think Liverpool actually technically has like 3 Champions Leagues.
probably more. I don't know.
Because what didn't they win like 3 or 4 in the 80s?
Yeah, before it was considered the
The
Champions League.
Champions
they had
League, and then they
won-
rebranded it. It was like the European Cup, and then they rebranded the Champions League in 92, 93.
whatever
Fun
it was.
fact: the first ever modern day Champions League winner,
Mhm.
Marseille.
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 You don't say.
It was before they were caught cheating.
Well, there you go. How do you cheat back then? What would you
I don't know.
do?
That was ref fixing.
Well, yeah. Well,
You know,
the
they
classic. The classic.
yeah,
Still
the
going
classic. The Italian cheating scandal.
on. Yeah. All right. I think it's happened over Greece. I know it's happened too. It happens
Yeah.
everywhere. Anyways, Ferris, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking 20 different damn matches with me. Couldn't have done it without you because then, I'm just yelling in the wind if I was doing it by
A bit
myself.
tired. I'm a bit flemished.
Oh, wait, Flemish. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, Ferris, where can people find you here on the old internets?
Every Friday, Let's Get Ready Network, Let's Get Ready Network conglomerate, the channels, 3:00 Pacific. We talk American football on this channel. Me and Caleb, will be talking the primetime showdowns of the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys,
Ooh.
as well as on our entertainment channel. Me and Adelia, we do our open table show. Where we dress up, we have fun, we talk about stuff. This week, I believe, if we have a show this week, we will be talking about sports movies and our favorites. I have never seen Miracle. That's
Wow.
Billy's favorite sports movie. So will I rectify it by Friday? We shall see. As well as this Thursday, I believe, we are doing live. Is it live? I don't know, but we will be doing a Rewatchers Council. That is our Buffy Rewatchers series. It's me, Rob, and Adelia. Rob's the expert. Adelia is the intermediary, kind of knows what she's talking about. And I'm the novice. I've never seen Buffy, so we'll find out about the show that apparently Harvard has made a class about. We shall see.
Sure. Be the only goddamn Harvard class I could pass. Well, and even then, it'd probably be too much writing, and I get bored if it.
Absolutely. They'll probably let you write a 10-page paper on Cordelia.
Oh, that I do forget. Okay, yeah, so you can catch all those shows and more here on the Let's Get Ready Network. Of course, Danny and I show LGRN After Snark. Been off for a couple weeks. Leading into Christmas here, I believe we're going to be doing one on Friday. It will depend. Hopefully, Danny's been feeling a little better. He's not had the best couple of weeks. So hopefully we'll be doing a show again very soon. If not, it's coming back. It's the gold standard for this entire network as far as shows go, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best looking host right here. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for showing up, watching Starting 11, and we will see you for the last regular week of the year. Good night.